Hi, my name's Sophie.
And I'm Wilson.
And welcome to Sophie Knits Daily.
Today we are back in the UK after 3 months on the road in the van, and we're heading straight to a fibre festival in the Lake District.
We're going to Cumbrian Wool Gathering, which we haven't heard much about online, so we're not quite sure what to expect. But Wilson's family's from the area and they've been before and absolutely loved it, so we're so excited to join them this weekend.
We've got a full weekend ticket and we're going to take you along on both days and see what we get up to.
Hope you enjoy. So we've just got back from day one of Cumbrian Wool Gathering, and so we thought we'd pop in and show you what we've bought. We really weren't expecting to buy anything today, were we?
No, we've both made purchases, and maybe it's because the sun's out. It's a beautiful day here in the Lake District. We've both got our wristbands on and we were not expecting it to be so warm. The Lake District is known for being wet and rainy and unpredictable, but we've got the best weather, so we've really enjoyed it in the sun. Maybe that's informed a bit of our purchasing.
Yeah, the good weather's put us in a good mood and we've made some purchases. Honestly, I don't feel like I've even seen half of the show yet because it's so big and there's so much to see, and it was a little bit busy, but even only seeing half of the show on day one, we've still managed to find some really great stuff.
We have, but before we go into that, should we do a little recap on day one rather than going straight into the purchases?
Yeah, good idea.
So what did you think of the Wool Fest? It's the first time we've been.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of yarn festivals before, both of them in cities, and I found that with those yarn festivals they're quite polished and put together, and there's lots of kind of indie dyers or commercial brands, and it's mainly yarn that I've bought at those or seen at those festivals, but this one was quite different. So it was held in an auction house, a cattle auction house. An
auction market that's usually used for cattle and livestock. Yeah, so it was literally, we were in the pens, the stalls were in the pens that the cattle will be held in. And it was great. It was so rural and kind of farmery, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was so much variety of different stalls and vendors and products for sale. So you had the yarn and you had the indie dyers, which I've kind of come across at other knitting festivals, but there was also so much fibre, like more spinning and needle felting and kind of fibre related stuff than I've seen before, as well as
there was whole fleeces, wasn't there, for sale?
Yeah.
You could literally buy entire fleeces completely unprocessed. There was loads of bags of unprocessed wool and all local stuff as well, which was nice.
There was such a massive selection of different things to buy, so I did find that really exciting but also a bit overwhelming.
It was quite overwhelming, and it was so busy on day one. As we got there was a queue to the car park. We were queuing for 20 minutes to get to the car park, and then there was a queue to get in with your tickets, and there was a real buzz about the place, and all of the stalls were really busy. It was tricky to move around, but it was a really good energy, wasn't it?
Yeah, even the queuing felt really exciting. It did feel like there was a really good energy and everyone was just so happy to be there. And again, maybe the sun helped with that. But it was also just a perfect venue where there was lots of parking. Everyone was really helpful in getting you parked. You got in fairly quickly once you were in the queue. So
there was a cafe that we had coffee and cake. It was very nice.
Yeah, the venue was very kind of accessible. Everything was on the lower ground and everything was quite easy to get to. And although there was a lot of people, there was room to move. So in the aisles, they were quite wide. There was kind of room to move in the aisles. It's just sometimes it gets a little bit busy kind of right at the tables where all the products are, and it's a bit difficult to see there.
But we weren't really sure what to expect because it's our first time ever going, and we hadn't really heard much about it or seen anything online, any other videos of people going. We haven't really researched it. So we were kind of expecting a small kind of local festival, but it's a really big one, isn't it?
It is big, yeah.
Did you say it's bigger than Woolly Good Gathering in Edinburgh that you went to?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so lots to see and lots of purchases to be made.
Yeah, and I grew up around where the festival's being held in the Lake District, so it kind of feels a bit like a homecoming for me after our time in Europe, and it's nice to see all the people near my hometown that are celebrating the wool.
Yeah, something that we really miss when we're in Europe is that connection with other people, and it's made a bit difficult with the language barrier, I suppose. But it's been so nice to kind of be in an area that is familiar and to just speak to so many people. So thank you to anyone who came up to us. We absolutely loved chatting to anyone who came up to us. It was just so nice to meet different people, see what they were buying, kind of, I don't know, it just felt really exciting, didn't it?
Yeah, we met
everyone was so friendly.
We met loads of people that watched the videos, and we were asking them all what they bought, and we'd see them all the way around, and every time we chatted to them they'd bought more and more things. And it was just really nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely made it all more exciting for us to kind of bounce off other people's energies and to meet lots of people. So yeah, we're really grateful if you came up to us. Thank you for coming and saying hi.
So that was the end of day one. We've left now, and we just had some lunch, and we're actually staying nearby, and this is the allotment that we're staying in. There's some sheep in the field behind us, so I thought it was a good place to have a little recap on day one. But now we'll go through what we actually bought while we were there on day one.
Yeah, so I'll start with the first thing that I saw. Wilson was kind of like lagging behind doing a bit of filming, and then came over to me and he was like, oh my gosh, you bought something already? I think we've been there for about 5 minutes.
This was quick. This was the first 10 minutes we were there.
Yeah, but I was very surprised that generally the prices of things in there for sale were really, really good and really reasonable. I think we've come out with some absolute steals, like absolute bargains, but everything really was like a very good price.
I think everything there was a natural fibre. I didn't see any.
Maybe. I think that's a bold statement to make, but there was a lot of natural
most
fibre.
Of what we saw was natural fibres, so you'd expect it to be on the pricier end, I guess, but it was really well priced, all of it, I think.
Yeah. So the first two things aren't labelled, but on the stall it said this was 100% wool, and I think it said there was 270 grams, so a very unusual amount. I'm not quite sure where this wool has come from or what its story is, but they had lots of different wools that were all 4-ply, and each strand that's been plied together is a different colour, so the kind of variation that you got in each of these big skeins was really, really interesting, and there was lots of different colour combinations that I was really intrigued by, but I think this one was my favourite because I have some hand spun yarn in a similar sort of colourway that I think would look really, really nice with this yarn, so I picked this up. It's as I said, 100% wool. I'm not quite sure which wool, and it's a green, a brown, a pink, and kind of a darker khaki green, all mixed together.
Wow, it's not the softest.
Not the softest. Yeah, it's quite rustic, but I was thinking I could maybe hold it with something softer, like a mohair, or use it in stripes with the hand spun stuff that I've got.
Have you had a go on your neck yet?
No. Oh, that is quite rustic.
It's quite scratchy, yeah. It kind of reminds me of Jameson's a little bit, but a lot scratchier than that. I'm not sure what it is. The texture of it reminds me of that.
The idea that I have with the stuff that I've hand spun, because it's not very consistent and I am prone to over spinning and over plying, which makes quite a ropey yarn, so the plan that I had for that was some sort of cushion cover or a bag or something, so I feel like this would work well for a homeware item.
Do you know what it is?
Just said wool.
Just said wool. There you go. And how much did that come to?
£5.
£5
for 250 grams or 270
wow.
grams.
That is a good deal.
And I think I am going to have a little bit more of a browse at this stall when we go back tomorrow. Spoiler, we're going back for another day, to see if there's any other kind of colourways that intrigue me, because the more that I look at this, the more that I'm really in love with it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Really
it's different.
nice.
It's different for you.
Yeah, and it's unusual. I've never seen something in this sort of colourway before, so that was the first purchase.
Unidentified wool.
Exactly.
Okay, and then on to the second.
Yeah, this has got a bit sweaty in the sun, so I hope it's okay.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, lovely. But this was from that same stall. I can't remember the name of the stall, but I'll put it up on the screen or in the description box. And these are more wools that are unlabelled, but it said on the kind of label on the stand that these are wools that are spun at the JC Rennie Mill. Which is, I think, a mill in Scotland. Mm-hmm. And I bought a lot of JC Rennie yarn on a cone when we went to Ragtag in the Lake District, which is like a second-hand scrap store, and I haven't started working with any of that yarn yet, but I thought because all of that yarn is so colourful, it would be good to have a more neutral colour to kind of pair with those colours, and would work really well in a Fair Isle garment.
So you got 10 balls of that stuff,
So
didn't you?
I did. I got 10 balls of a 2-ply kind of jumper weight, ideal for colour work wool yarn. Again, unidentified, but it feels really nice.
That's really soft.
Really lovely, and will just work so well in colour work. And I'm quite obsessed with doing kind of Fair Isle colour work at the moment, so I know it will definitely come in handy.
So it's quite thin, is it? Is that why it's good for colour work? It
Yeah,
looks
exactly.
thin to me. What weight is that, do you think?
A fingering weight.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And it looks exactly the same as the yarn that I've bought from JC Rennie on the cone. So yeah, I thought it would come in handy, and at the price, I just couldn't leave it behind.
So how much is one of these balls?
So they didn't sell them in individual balls, they sold them in the whole packet.
Okay.
And I believe each of these is 50 grams. I mean, I've not weighed it, but they look bigger than the 25 gram balls that you get from like Jameson's or something. So I've got 10 balls here.
So around 500 grams.
And it came to £15.
£15.
Yeah, and there were so many different colours to choose from, so many different colours. So
Wow.
again, maybe I'll have another look to see if there's other colours that inspire me. But I just thought this kind of beigey brown, it's definitely a grey brown leaning.
Grey, browny, beigey.
Yeah.
Smells like sheep, doesn't it?
Yeah. I just thought it would come in handy. So I feel like it's Wilson's turn to talk about some yarn that he bought.
Whoa, look at the size of that. That is huge. So
It's bigger than your
wow.
head.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's huge.
So this was a good find. I didn't intend to buy anything at all, did I? I said to Sophie, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to film, and I'm there for the vibes. But here we are. This is pure wool, it says, and it's 998 grams. And I just saw it on the floor, and I loved the colour. It's a nice mossy brown green colour, and it really reminds me of the base colour that you used for your 1988 cardigan.
It really reminds me of the jumper that you've already knitted.
Yeah, it really looks like my Northland sweater as well, that green. So ideally I wouldn't look for another green like that, but the colour is just amazing. I loved it when I saw it, and there was loads of it, and I saw that it was just under 1 kilogram, and I know that that's enough for me to make a garment out of, which is rare that I'll find something like a little cone or something that has 1 kilogram on it. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, that's a huge cone.
That is a huge cone. So I thought I'd check the price, and it turned out to be very well priced. So I asked the woman that was on the stall where she got it from and why it was so cheap, and she wouldn't tell me. She said she'd never reveal her secret of where she gets her cones from. So fair enough. I mean,
But she says she likes to buy the cones cheap so that she can sell them on cheaply.
Yeah.
And she was aware herself that this was a very good price.
So it's reasonably
She was lovely.
priced.
She was so lovely.
it's 100% wool, smells very, very sheepy, and it just feels so soft and lovely. And I've got 1 kilogram of it. And that came to £16 for 1 kilogram of this 100% wool. So that is
amazing.
amazing. What a deal.
Yeah, the only information that it has on it is it says Filati something made in Italy on the bottom. So it's from some
There
sort
we
of
go.
Italian mill.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I imagine she's probably picked it up secondhand, but who are we to know? She wouldn't tell us anything. She was very funny. She wouldn't tell us where she got anything. She didn't answer any questions.
Which is completely understandable.
Very
but yeah.
understandable.
We're trying
So-
to get her secrets.
And then we also got a second cone
We
from her
did.
stall, didn't we?
So this one's quite unusual for me, but I saw the colour and I thought that is just so beautiful. So I've been kind of brainstorming ideas of what I want to do with this, and I have so many ideas. So this again is pure wool from Italy.
Sorry, there was a bug on it.
Pure wool from Italy, and it's 1,236 grams. So 1.2
More than me.
kilos. Yeah, more than you. And I think because of that, the price is slightly more at £20.
Still amazing.
£20 for 1.2 kilos of wool. Again, there's kind of no information on it. It just says it's Italian on the bottom. But it's a really, really beautiful. It's not a stark white, is it? It's a bit of a grey white.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I don't think it's white. Yeah, it's more of a grey, beige.
Yeah, with tweed flecks, and the tweed flecks are really bright and vibrant, like a beautiful pink, green, orange, blue, yellow. It's like a confetti yarn.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so beautiful. It's single
Oh, hello. There's a dog that's come to join us. This is Alan, everybody.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, Alan. He's just come to check on us.
It's a single ply, but that ply is quite kind of tightly twisted or spun. So I think even though it's a single ply, it will be quite hard wearing, and it does feel a bit rough. It's not the smoothest wool
Oh, it's
in the
much rougher
world.
than this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the tweed flecks make it feel a bit rough as well.
Yeah, maybe. But I was thinking that it would be a really lovely kind of base of a blanket if I was to do a sweet shop blanket with this as kind of the main colour and then hold scraps with it. I think would look really beautiful because there's so many different tweed flecks in here. Or I could do a blanket where I do a stripe of this white and then a stripe of a scrap and then white again, and kind of make the blanket cohesive by having a consistent colour but then adding my scraps in. So that's one idea. Another one is I could hold it with something and make a cardigan or a jumper, but I have enough that I could do both of those things possibly with one big cone of yarn.
Or
So
you could sell it for double the price probably, because it was such a good deal.
Such a good deal. And there was 2 of these cones actually, so
Yeah.
me and somebody else who's gone to the knitting festival we're going to be matching.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good purchases, cone purchases.
That's all of our day one purchases. We were very
It's not.
excited. It's not.
I've got 2 more things.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do know about these, you've
Did
just
I?
forgotten.
I've just forgotten.
Yeah.
I was
So-
concentrating on filming.
One that I very kindly bought for you.
How could I forget these?
How could you forget these? These are short interchangeable needles from Knit Pro, which are the needles that I use and now you use. So short 6mm needles, which I've been looking for a while in a few different yarn shops, and I've struggled to find them, but they had a whole stall of knitting needles here, so that was perfect.
And I need them for my sleeves on my cardigan that I'm knitting at the moment. I don't want to do magic loop because
Yeah.
I hate magic loop.
We met someone at the festival who made a really funny comment about magic loop.
Oh yeah, so I was explaining why I was buying the needles. One of the viewers that we met, we were chatting about this, and she said, "Why don't you like magic loop? It's magic."
I mean, she has a very
and that
good
is
point.
a good point.
Yeah.
It is magic, but it's still quite annoying for me to do. So I wanted some short circulars. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
So you very kindly got them for me, didn't you?
I did very kindly get them for you, yes.
So that was the next purchase. How could I forget that one?
I know, that's an important one because it's been slow progress on your cardigan at the moment because you were putting off having to do magic loop.
And I was
But
putting
now
off
you're
having to
away.
do pearls, but now I'm knitting in the round on the sleeves. That'll be flying off the needles, won't it?
Yeah, so that's a very good purchase.
All right, so what's next?
Now the last purchase is very exciting because I've become quite button obsessed recently.
Yeah?
And I think it's in combination with me becoming cardigan obsessed that now I'm really excited to get new buttons because I like jazzing up a cardigan basically. But a lot of the buttons that I find are in charity shops, they're kind of vintage, but a lot of them are plastic. Which is great for when I want to wash things, but it's nice to find some more unusual buttons that aren't plastic, and these met that criteria. Do you want to hold one?
Wow.
So there was a selection of different buttons on this stall that said kind of eco buttons, and I thought that really intrigued me, and I loved the look of these buttons. So they're a brown with some blue in them, and these are made out of coffee grounds.
Recycled coffee grounds.
Yeah.
They smell like coffee. Have you smelled them?
No, they don't.
No, they don't. But they had all sorts in that stall. They had recycled eggshells,
Yeah.
coffee grounds. There was like loads of different types of these.
There was buttons made out of nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was like a macadamia button.
Wow. So that's amazing.
What else was there? Eggshells.
I imagine there was a lot of plastic that was recycled.
Yeah, I think there was some recycled plastic.
Yeah.
But I just love the look of the coffee ground buttons. I think they're so interesting.
What
and
a
they do
story
give
as
it
well.
kind of a lot of texture and they look so natural. So yeah, I bought these with a bit of a kind of like blue in them to go on my Lucy cardigan,
Yeah.
which I've been knitting on recently.
Good
so
purchase.
that was a great purchase.
That's quite a specific thing to find, isn't it? You've been looking
Yeah.
for a while in charity shops, but that was a very specific blue button that you were looking for.
And the reason that I look in charity shops is because I find the buttons in yarn stores to be quite expensive. We bought some buttons from a yarn store a while ago and they were like £2 or £2.50 a button or something. I didn't quite realise until we got to the till, but these buttons were 50p a button, which I think is so reasonably priced.
Yeah, especially when they're such an interesting construction.
Yeah, exactly. So love the look of these buttons. Oh, don't want to lose one. Love the look of these buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of great purchases.
So that is day one wrapped up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts from the day? I think I was just surprised at how different it is to any knitting festival we've been to before. Well, I say knitting festival, what I mean is wool festival, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because this one is a lot more agricultural, and there was live animals there. There were sheep that you could pet. There was Angora rabbits as well, and loads of raw fleece and natural fibres, whereas the festival that I've been to before, and I can't speak for you,
The
but
one in Copenhagen.
yeah, was a lot more knitting focused and kind of yarn and skeined yarn and hand dyers and that kind of thing, whereas this feels a little bit more agricultural and farmer oriented, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I just had such an enjoyable time. I felt like there was so many spaces to kind of sit down and just take in the atmosphere. There was lots of different sections inside and outside to sit down. Along every aisle, when you were kind of in the pens, one of those pens had been used for seating. So I did feel like, although there were a lot of people and kind of my excitement to see everything was quite overwhelming, there was also a lot of space to kind of just sit down, take it all in, relax, rest, and then kind of carry on.
It was a nice atmosphere, wasn't it?
A really
Definitely.
nice atmosphere, and everyone was just so friendly. I think that was the main thing that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
All the vendors, everybody that we met.
Yeah.
We just had a great time speaking to people.
If you ever do see us out in the wild at a knitting festival, do come up and talk to us, because we absolutely love it.
Yeah, we love it.
We met so many people today that we either knew online or had watched the videos, and it's always a really nice experience. So feel free to come and chat to us if you ever see us out in the wild.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back for day 2 tomorrow. So this is the end of this segment, but let's see what we get up to tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. So we're back from day 2 now on the Sunday, and we've got some more great finds, but I'll start with kind of what the Sunday vibe was like. So in the run up to Cumbrian wool gathering, we weren't really planning on going to both days, or we didn't quite know whether we'd go to both days. But because the Saturday was quite busy and we really enjoyed speaking to lots of different people and just taking our time and taking it slowly, we actually didn't manage to see the whole festival on the Saturday. We definitely could have stayed a bit longer, like it hadn't closed by the time we left, but we were a bit ready for lunch at that point, weren't we? So we left a bit early on the Saturday, which meant that we'd go back on the Sunday, and I am so glad that we did.
Yeah, I think the Saturday was more about the vibe, wasn't it? It was really busy, and you couldn't really get a proper look at the stalls because of the amount of people that were kind of browsing, but the vibes were great. But the Sunday was a very different experience.
Yeah, in saying the Saturday was busy, I don't mean that as a negative at all. Like, I absolutely loved the vibe of the Saturday. It really felt like a festival. There was so much energy and good vibes, and people were really excited to be there. So it just made for a really enjoyable experience to kind of be there with everyone who loves fibre arts. But the Sunday definitely had a different vibe. It was much quieter. You could definitely look round everything on a stall, and you weren't kind of in anyone's way, or kind of looking around you to see if you were in anyone's way. So I quite liked that. I felt like it was really easy browsing, and that also meant that you got to speak to the shop owners a lot more, which was really interesting. We discovered a lot more information about each stall than we had on the Saturday, just because we were able to have those conversations. And the part that I really enjoyed on the Sunday was speaking to the different kind of spinners and are they spinners and dyers guilds? Spinners and knitting guilds?
Spinners and weavers, I think.
Spinners and Weavers Guilds, that's the one. It was really interesting to speak to them, and felt like quite a nice conversation, because you know that they weren't trying to like sell you anything. I don't mean that in any sort of negative way, because I know not everyone's kind of trying to sell you stuff, but it just felt like a really enjoyable learning experience. And I felt like
they were very passionate, weren't they?
Yeah, they were really passionate. It was so interesting to kind of hear from someone who knows their craft so well, and a craft that I don't know very well as well. Like, I do spin a little bit, but I don't spin too much, so it was really interesting to speak to people who spun a lot more than me.
And lace making, we spoke to a lady who was lace making at the time. That was really cool.
Yeah,
it looked
very
like hard
cool
work.
It did, and she was saying it was really easy, but even so it looked difficult. So I really enjoyed that experience of getting to speak to the guilds, and I feel a lot more comfortable now going and joining guilds kind of when we're travelling around just as a guest, because they do offer kind of the ones that we spoke to offer kind of guest passes. So yeah, I really enjoyed that part of the festival. So what was your favourite part of the Sunday?
My favourite part of the Sunday was finding out, my favourite part of the Sunday was this. Should we just jump straight into it?
Yeah, let's go straight in.
Okay, so let me put my fizzy apple juice down. This is pure boucle wool, and it's massive. I got this from the same lady that I bought the cone from yesterday.
And my cone from.
And your cone.
Yeah.
We have paid her rent for a year, haven't we?
Not really,
Well,
because of
maybe
the prices she was charging.
It's true.
Yeah.
So we went back today, and she had a whole new selection of cones that were a few were under the table, I think, the day before, but she'd got some extra ones out.
And maybe it was just easier to see because it wasn't as busy.
Yeah, that's true. So we had a proper browse, and I wasn't intending to buy anything. I was like, I'm done with my one cone that is loads of wool, and I'll never find a deal like that again. And look what I found. I found 1,365 grams of boucle, and this wasn't an impulse purchase, because what I have in mind for this boucle has been on my wish list for a little while now. So I've actually brought it to show you. So this is a fleece that I already own. It's like a Timberland fleece, kind of a outdoorsy quarter zip fleece.
This is like Wilson's uniform. He is always in this jumper.
I love this jumper. I've had it for probably 7 or 8 years now. I found it in a charity shop, I think, and it's really cool. And I've always thought I want to knit my own kind of fleece, but I've not really seen any like this other than one pattern. Is it called Patagonia Peaks? We've mentioned it in another... By Maya Tinks. Good knowledge. We've mentioned that in another SKD video. But other than that, I've not really seen any more kind of outdoorsy fleeces. And I was wondering how I would give it that look. And just looking at this, really, I think the boucle is the closest you can get, I suppose.
I'd say so.
How would you describe that? I can't really...
Well, this has kind of lost its fleece now over the years of washing, but it's just...
it's like clumped cotton, isn't it, fleece? I don't really know what it is.
I don't know what it is either.
But
it's squishy and it's a bit bobbly.
Bobbly and squishy. Good description. So, the most bobbly and squishy wool you can get is boucle, I guess. So, I already had it on my wish list, and I do like the colour blue, and it's in a nice navy. So, I just had to get it. I really did have to get it, and it cost me a grand total for 1,365 grams, £22.
That is amazing.
Which is very cheap.
Yeah.
So at that price, and I had a project in mind, I just couldn't say no. But that is the last thing I'm ever buying. I'm not buying any more after that, because I didn't intend to. And the lady at the store was laughing when we came back the second day and bought another cone, wasn't she?
And we tried again. We said, "Oh, where'd you get your cones from?" And she recognised us. She didn't say.
She knew exactly who we were.
Yeah.
I tried to get the information out of her, but couldn't.
That was a great purchase. We'd seen an orange boucle yesterday, but the orange really wasn't your colour, and you were kind of weighing it up like, oh, but it's a boucle and I've really wanted a boucle and could I suit an orange, and we didn't get it. And then when we saw this blue is your colour, so it's just perfect.
And there's 1,400 grams of it as well, which is ridiculous. More than enough to make a jumper, but I'm currently playing yarn chicken with another project that I'm working on, my cardigan, so seeing that amount of wool puts me at ease. I know that'll be enough for a fleece, so
yeah, it will.
I'm happy about that. And for £22 you can't pass it up. So that was purchase number 1 from me. So what did you get?
Purchase number 1 from me was a bit of herringbone tape. Quite a simple purchase, but I've said on this channel before that I really struggle to find herringbone tape, and it's something that I use quite a lot when I'm making hand knit bags to kind of reinforce the straps. And Yeah, it's the hardest thing to find. It's really annoying not to have it in my stash when I need it. So I just bought 2 meters of herringbone tape so that it's there for when I need it. And it will come in handy.
Boring. Next. This is not boring.
The fun purchase.
I love this one.
The fun purchase is 500 grams of fibre. This is Shetland and it cost me £13.
Let's have a smell of that. It's not too sheepy, actually.
It's not too sheepy.
Not too sheepy at all.
So I was determined today not to get any yarn. I don't need any yarn. I have enough yarn, and I was successful in that. But because it's quite a fibre heavy festival, I was determined to get some fibre, and I didn't get any fibre yesterday. And now that I'm back reunited with my spinning wheel, I need some fibre to spin, and I only have 100 grams of fibre in my stash, which is not enough. So I bought 500 grams of the Shetland. The first thing to say about this is I don't think I'll ever not be surprised by how much cheaper fibre is compared to yarn.
You were saying that recently.
Yeah, so £13 for 500 grams just feels absolutely crazy.
That is cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's from a brand called Adelaide Walker, and I looked on their website because I thought, if this is the festival prices, what is it on their website? But they're selling it for exactly the same as what's on the website, so there's been no markup for the festival, which is really nice to see, and that's reassuring because I know that I can also get these really good prices online. I bought the Shetland specifically because, as you guys know, I've been knitting a lot of colourwork garments recently, and I use Shetland wool for my colourwork jumpers. So I thought it might be fun if I had an intention with this yarn, or fibre, sorry. I always get those words confused. But if I had an intention with the fibre, it would give me a bit more kind of motivation to spin it in a certain way, improve my technique, kind of really keep consistency with the yarn. So I'm planning on spinning this, I almost said knitting, spinning this into a 2-ply to kind of mimic the Jameson's 2-ply kind of Fair Isle yarns.
Oh, and use with colourwork.
As
a base colour, I guess.
So this could be the base colour in my jumper, and then I've got lots of kind of scraps of colours to use.
What colour is it?
As the colours.
Kind of a really dark brown, almost black, isn't it? But I think it is a little bit brown.
Yeah, it's described on their website, and I think on the shelf at the festival as black. But I think it's a brown.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really dark brown. It's got lots of white flecks in it as well. So when it's spun up, I think those white flecks might make it look a bit lighter. But I'd say it's a brown. I bought this one over, I think they had like a caramelly colour and maybe a grey colour. Like a grey white and a white. I bought this colour because I just thought it would be a really good base for having lots of different colourwork colours over the top of it. I didn't want to pick a colour that would kind of blend into any colours and then make it hard to do colourwork. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but
that makes sense.
Yeah, this is an easy colour to add colourwork to. So yeah, that's going to take me a very, very long time to spin, especially doing it as a finger and weight 2-ply. So yeah, good purchase.
So, 2 nice little purchases, low cost as well, but just nice things to have.
Low cost, high reward.
Low cost, high reward. That's been our whole experience at the festival, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
So, have we got anything else to speak about, or should we kind of summarise our time?
Let's summarise our time.
So, I'll start.
Okay.
For me, it was amazing because I'd never heard of Cumbria Wool Gathering, I think it's called. It was not something that's ever been on my radar, and I literally grew up in a town 10 minutes away from there. So it should have been on my radar, but it wasn't. So I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it was way bigger than I was expecting. There was a huge variety of vendors there and fibres, and we just had the best time. I think after being away for so long in the van prior to this, for 3 months prior to the festival, we hadn't really spoken English to anyone because we don't speak the languages of any of the countries we visited, classic tourists. So we really missed out on just having small talk and just speaking and having conversations with people in public. That was something that we really missed. And then as soon as we came home, we attended this festival, and it was like we were showered with small talk, weren't we? And most of the people there were either Scottish or from the north of England, so there's a certain type of kind of banter communication that you get with northerners, which was just nice and nostalgic to me because I grew up in the north of England. So
yeah, it felt really like homely and welcoming and warm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely a friendly festival, a very friendly vibe.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the festival?
I absolutely loved having so many people from Wilson's family there on the Saturday.
Oh, yeah, have we mentioned that?
I don't know if we mentioned that. Yeah, loads of Wilson's family came yesterday, and it was so nice to spend the whole day with them, and we all got to just gush about our purchases, and we went back and had lunch together, and it was just so nice to like have that family time, but in an environment that we're so immersed in. Like we live and breathe knitting and fibre arts, and to know that we can kind of share that experience with your family is really, really lovely.
Yeah, I'll put some clips in. We actually spent a couple of evenings there over this weekend, and we filmed some clips. Sophie was doing some spinning because my family have a farm, it's kind of nearby as well, so they have their own fleece, and they often bring their fleece round, and Sophie was having to go at carding and spinning, and it was a good time, wasn't it?
It was a very good time. It just felt like a really wholesome weekend. I absolutely loved it. But in terms of the actual festival, I think I'd agree with you in that everyone there was just so friendly, so welcoming, so like easy to chat to, and I loved that the festival also was kind of not outside, it was covered, but there was a whole wall that was open. You were kind of in like a barn, is that right? Or like a...
I guess so. It was a holding pen for animals, an auction centre, so it was kind of like a huge metal barn. Yeah,
so you could see the outside, you got the breeze coming in. Yeah, it's been a really hot weekend, so we kind of needed that breeze coming in, so I really liked that as well, because I felt like it was nice to just be outside. You weren't really in like a conference centre, and it didn't feel very kind of how much I describe it?
Was kind of like a market, like an outdoor market is how it felt, as opposed to being kind of stuck in a big hall or something that can get quite loud and stuffy. And it was just really nice to be outside, and the cafes all had outdoor seating as well, so it kind of felt more like a market or a festival than it did kind of an organised event in a conference room or something. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay.
I just loved it. I'd recommend it to anyone. Again, like it's not a festival I've really heard people speaking about, and I hadn't heard of it before your family said they were going.
Yeah, and I think it seemed to have a huge representation for locals in the area and kind of the north of England and Scotland, but I don't know how much online presence it's got and how much, because we'd never heard of it on social media or seen any YouTube videos or anything. Maybe that's just us, but we hadn't seen too much online about it, but everyone around there seemed to know about it, and people were travelling from different parts of the north of England. So
yeah, we've also been recommended Yarndale, which I think is in a similar sort of area, so we'll have to look into that one. Apparently it's bigger.
Okay.
But bigger's not better. But we'll have to look into that one.
Yeah, right, so I think that wraps up this episode. I'm very happy with our purchases. We've had a great weekend, and we're ending it on a high talking about all of our stuff that we've bought. So that's it. If you enjoy this video, subscribe if you'd like to, and then we'll pop up on your feed or not. Well, I'm Wilson It's Daily on Instagram. This is Sophie It's Daily on Instagram, and we also have a Patreon as well.
We really appreciate everyone who donates over on Patreon. It really does help support the channel, and we are so grateful for your donations.
Yeah, it means the absolute world to us that we are viewer funded, and you guys are generous enough to donate some of your money to fund the production of these videos and to keep the channels going. It really, really helps us out, so thank you. It also means we can stay away from brand partnerships, and we don't have to try and sell products to you guys in the middle of these videos, and we try and keep all of that stuff away. We don't offer any additional content on Patreon because we want everything to be free for anyone to access, regardless of how much money you have. It's just a way to support us if you feel like you would like to, or not. That's absolutely fine.
Again, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.